Yo, what's good, my people? It's your boy Big Chris, aka the Compton Animator, and I'm here to give you another WWE Raw review. So tonight we're reviewing WWE Raw for February 10th, 2014, and the show kicks off with Betty White coming to the ring. So Betty White comes to the ring. She's along with Big Show. He asks her what they're here to do tonight, and they just go. She just goes, "I'm here to kick ass." I guess an okay section open, and she's just there because they're in LA. And before I say anything else, applause to LA for the night. They were very hyped throughout the whole night, even during the bad matches. Or not even bad. Like the bad matches are the boring matches. They stayed up and stuff like that and did a pretty good job. So big ups to LA. That's my hometown. I wish I could have been there tonight, but money kept me from being there. But yeah, they were pretty good tonight. Next after that, you get Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, the Authority, who comes out to the ring, and they basically bye them two and go to the ring, and they start talking about what do they start talking about? Let's see. So they come out to the ring and they start talking about clearing up the confusion that happened with Daniel Bryan, and saying that yeah, he won the match, but they're only considering him to be face of the company. They didn't say if he won he'll be face of the company. And just talking more about Randy Orton. I mean, talking more about things that's going to happen at the Chamber and stuff. Randy Orton comes out to the ring, and basically Randy Orton's out there talking about he's trying to apologize to the Authority, and basically apologize for I don't know if it was kind of like, yeah, it was kind of things that he said and stuff like that, and just generally just being an asshole this whole time to them, and just kind of not doing his job basically. So he was apologizing for that. After that, you get Daniel Bryan, who comes to the ring and gets one hell of a pop from the LA crowd. He gets to the ring and he starts basically talking shit about Randy Orton, just shitting him about how he won, and then starts going at Stephanie and him about the whole stuff with Kane and everything like that. And then after that, he continues to shit on Randy Orton and say that he should be the face of the company and they shouldn't be behind Randy Orton and stuff like that. As far as this opening promo should go, I thought it was pretty okay. I thought the stuff at the beginning with the Betty White stuff was whatever. The Authority and Randy Orton's parts were okay, but it really got better when Daniel Bryan got into the ring and he brought some validity to the whole opening segment, and just them talking about everything that's going on with Kane and him, and them saying that they're going to give Kane a night off. I mean, give Daniel Bryan a night off, and they're going to kind of suspend Kane for a week for his actions, and then Daniel Bryan just going no with the whole crowd really made it really good and stuff like that, and it really brought out the crowd for the night and really was a nice way to open up the show. After that, we get our first match, which is the Wyatt family versus the Rhodes brothers and Rey Mysterio. This was a pretty good match right here. Both teams came out and did the damn thing. The Wyatt family was really nice here. They played the power role very good. Rey Mysterio and the Rhodes brothers did a very well job. I like the way that all teams played themselves, just very well. The whole match was very fast paced and everything like that. And the Wyatt family stayed on the Rhodes brothers and Rey Mysterio the whole time until Bray Wyatt came out and put on one hell of a Sister Abigail onto Rey Mysterio, and it was a very good move. He basically caught him before he could. He caught him in like mid run before he can get into the 619 and hit him with the Sister Abigail. So it was a very nice way to end the match and stuff like that. And what was even better is that Bray Wyatt after the match cut a promo, basically. What did he say? So Bray Wyatt basically cut a promo saying that everybody that has failed going against him, and that the Shield would be going through the same fate. Then he says that his next war will begin after this one, and they all will fall just like the others. So it was a pretty okay promo here. And I thought it was a nice match for the Wyatt family and a good, ending to this whole little beginning section of the show. Next we got a match with Santino Marella, and Emma came out with him versus Fandango and Summer Rae at his side. The match was okay. It was basically, more of a filler type match, just with some jokey stuff in it. Just as far as those characters, The Miz came out and basically talked shit about Fandango and what's the fucker's name? Fandango and Santino, and basically got on mic and was just complaining about his spot in the whole company and stuff like that. Fandango ends up coming out with the win here. The match was really, just a filler match, and it didn't really, it wasn't really nothing to write home about, to tell you the truth. So next we get, I believe, is Sheamus is okay. Next is, hold on, I think I forgot to talk about something. Okay, so before I talk about that, you had a segment with Roman Reigns and the Shield backstage. They showed a video package for Roman Reigns from the Royal Rumble and everything that he did in the Royal Rumble, and then they started talking to Roman Reigns about all his accolades going up into this Elimination Chamber, and they start talking to them about the Wyatt family and how they're going to handle them and whether or not they are intimidated and stuff by them. I like the way that the Shield kind of put it off a little bit, saying that, what did they say? Okay, yeah, they're saying that, the Shield speaks in absolutes and the Wyatt family speaks in riddle, and that they're basically absolutely going to beat the Wyatt family when it comes to Elimination Chamber. I thought it was a pretty good little promo segment from the Shield right there. And you get Renee Young, who starts asking Dean Ambrose about his U.S. title and why he hasn't defended it in so long. He tries to make an excuses, and Roman Reigns basically calls him on his bullshit and says, why don't you defend it tonight? And Dean Ambrose basically says, yeah, fuck it, I'll defend it, and I'll call out anybody out there because nobody wants to go against me type thing. Like I said, this promo was pretty good, and I like the ending stuff with Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns kind of still having a little bit of tension with each other, but also getting in the way of, pushing that whole thing of Dean Ambrose hasn't defended his belt in a while, and I like the way they used it as a part of story. So past this right here, you get a match with, before I talk about that, you get Sheamus, who's backstage talking to Brian Saxon, I believe, and let me get to a picture of Sheamus. Sheamus basically tells him, he's teaming with Christian and that they're kind of friends and enemies at one point, but they're friends now, so they're going to go out there and have a match, and he basically hypes himself up towards the WrestleMania. But next you get a match with Sheamus and Christian, and it's a match versus the Real Americans. Zeb Culture basically comes out to the ring and starts shitting on both Sheamus and Christian for being beaten down outsiders, and saying that they got beaten down, went home to lick their wounds, and then came back and, basically, how would I say this? Came back and, came back and basically, walked across the border to get back in and get back into WWE. So yeah, this is a pretty fun match. Sheamus and Christian did a really good job here. They weren't getting so much pop from the crowd because this guy Antonio Cesaro was just a beast here. The LA crowd loved Antonio Cesaro here. They were basically rooting for him the entire match. Antonio really showed himself right here and really did a good job. They loved everything that he was doing. But I think once him and Sheamus kind of got more into the match and started doing their thing, it got a lot more fun. It just, everything was pretty much a lot of fun with them. I think the only weak stuff to this match was kind of the involvement of Jack Swagger. I think they're still playing a storyline with him kind of being the wink link of the whole thing, but it's kind of affecting the match a little bit. I would just love to see that, he still be a strong character, but, be able to lose at the same time. But it's always been kind of Jack Swagger's whole thing, and, he's not been that great in the ring for a while. So yeah, but the match ends up ending with Sheamus, who hits Jack Swagger with a bro kick, and they basically pin him 1, 2, 3, and you get a win with the Sheamus, and Christian gets the win. Like I said, I thought this match was pretty fun. It was a lot of good moves here, and I think the guys did very well in this match. It was very always high energy through the whole time, and just the moves and just the crowd really helped this match just get over. And the guys who were in the ring were already good. They just needed the crowd behind them to make this really fun. So next we get. Hold on, before I go to this. Let's make sure. Okay, so before I talk about the next match, we get a backstage segment with John Cena. And here, John Cena basically comes out and he starts talking about, how there's a lot of wrestlers, young guys who are coming up, like Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and other dudes like Ziggler who are coming up. The crowd is most definitely behind him, but he's starting to say, this is still his time for as it is. And even though it seems like he's going out, if the guys want to come up and, become the big stars of the companies, they have to go through Cena first. I thought this was a really good promo here. This is probably my favorite promo Cena's done fucking all year, like since he's been back from that arm injury. Cena was really good here, and just the passion that he showed in this promo, as if you want to come get my spot, take it. I really liked it here. I just wish that he can translate that into his matches. But after this we get Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio. This match was quick as shit. It started off really good. Ziggler basically took this match and was doing very good in this match. Going over the LA crowd loved the shit out of him, but it ended with Alberto Del Rio super kicking him and getting a 1, 2, 3. Like I said, the match was really quick. I loved whatever the match was, but it just wasn't enough time for me to fully get into it and to love it. It was just like a minute match that basically did nothing for anybody. It got Alberto Del Rio quick win, but it didn't feel legit to me. So after the match, he goes and puts on a arm bar onto Ziggler, and trying to add more punishment to to his win. And Batista ends up running out spears. What's the boy's name? Alberto Del Rio. And the crowd kind of gets a good pop for Batista here, but it isn't as big as it should be, I guess, that they want. Instead it should be, because he's getting the pop he should get, but it isn't as big as the WWE wants here. I thought Batista did an okay job here. After that, he goes and basically puts Alberto Del Rio through the announcer's table after smashing him into the stairs and the walls of the outside a few times. But like I said, it was a pretty okay ending part right there. I guess they had a short match to have this, but I think they could have had a longer match plus this and still had enough time to do some good stuff here. Let's see. So after that, you had Batista, who was walking backstage, and Triple H basically told him that this is not how we do things around here, and if you want to fight somebody, you need to get into the match. So he put him in a match at Elimination Chamber with Alberto Del Rio. So it's going to be Alberto Del Rio versus Batista in a match at the Chamber, which I'm okay with. I knew it was going to come. So next I can talk about this. Lita is inducted into the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame class of 2014. I'm very happy for this girl. I saw somebody online talking about, I wish it was somebody else. I'm like, dude, this is Lita. She's a very good wrestler. She's, very good at what she does. And to me, it isn't about, who deserves it or, who, needs to be in this spot or whatever you want to say. It's about, who time is it for? If it is your time, and if you're at the right place to get it, and if you're doing the right things in order to get it, then you should be put in the Hall of Fame. That's what it's all about to me, and I like the way WWE put some guys in the Hall of Fame because they do it at the exact right time. Ultimate Warrior, Jake the Snake, Lita, all these people are being put in at the right time, and basically where their lives are in the right place, especially with Ultimate Warrior and Jake the Snake, and even with Lita, her life is in the right place. She's doing the things she needs to do and stuff like that. And this is the perfect time for Lita to get into the Hall of Fame. They did a video package here for her that was really good and had the other divas talking about her. You had Michael Hayes basically calling her a chick, not a woman, and just hyping her up and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah, I'm very excited for Lita to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. She's one of my favorite female wrestlers and one of the best divas the WWE have ever put out there. So, I could talk about this before I talk about this match. We get a few segments backstage with Betty White. You have Betty White talking to the divas at one point. They're talking about some show that she's coming out where she's pranking people on the show. And they're trying to prank her. Then you have the New Age Outlaws come and they basically take Betty White to get some tea. And when they show the tea little party that they're having, they try to pour some medicine or some shit. They try to prank Betty White basically and pour something into her tea. She switches the glasses and Billy Gunn ends up drinking it. And it leads into the stuff that happens at the next match that they're commentating for. But the stuff with Betty White was okay here. The crowd was chill with it. And it was nothing special. It was just, one of their regular segments that they do with the, the special guest that comes and stuff like that. It wasn't nothing, special or... It was entertaining for what it was. That's basically what I'll say right there. So after that, you get the next match, which is the Usos versus Curtis Axel and Ryback. And you get the New Age Outlaws, who are commentary. So this match was okay. The Ryback guys, when they're in the ring, they're, iffy at points. But what really brought this match really up and made it fun was the Usos. Once the Usos took control of this match, the crowd got into it. Their ring work was just top-notch, phenomenal, and they did the damn thing, And I like the way, you had one of the Usos kind of mocking the New Age Outlaws with the shake, rattle, and roll and stuff like that, and they just did a really good job here. You even have one point in the match where, I believe the Usos, you have one point in the match where the Usos go for a tag, and he basically does a flying tag that jumps on the outside and lands on Ryback, and it was a very good tag right there, and just an innovative way to get in the tag plus a offensive move at the same time. They end up winning the match with the Samoan splash or drop, whatever it's called, this big off the rope splash that they do. So yeah, like I said, that was a pretty chill match right here. As far as the Usos go in the match, they kind of hyped it up and the crowd helped out a little bit. After the match, you get the what do you call them? The Outlaws come over there and basically get ready to try to talk shit to the Usos, and Billy Gunn has to run to the back because of him getting this glass switched with Betty White. So I don't really want to talk more about that. It was basically a poop joke, and it was what it was. The end stuff right there, I didn't care about, but the match itself was okay. So, and that was the poop shit. Next we get a match with the Shield, Dean Ambrose versus Mark Henry. This match right here was very slow. It kind of hyped up towards the very end when the crowd kind of brought it up more, kind of started cheering louder for Mark Henry once he started getting into a little bit of his moveset. But my main problem with this match is Mark Henry came off really slow here. At first the crowd really wasn't into it. He did some good power moves, some things like, slamming or throwing Dean Ambrose into the ring post and stuff like that. And if I didn't say it, this is Mark Henry's return match, and basically returning to fight for the U.S. title after Dean Ambrose said, whoever wants it, come get it. So, like I said, did some couple good power moves here. Ends up hitting the World's Strongest Slam at the end of the match. Instead of getting a 1-2-3, the Shield come in and basically bum rush him. They get out to the outside, and Roman Reigns ends up spearing him and, just giving his Wwe Raw thing. I like the end of the match. The match was whatever to me. But I like the very end, the whole thing, with Roman Reigns throwing a nice spear and stuff like that. But what really made this segment was the Wyatt family coming out. So the Wyatt family comes out, and they basically have a stare off with the Shield, and they played this timing right as hell, dude. They had them work it slowly, both of the teams walking up to the ring, them standing on the apron, then you get both leaders getting into the ring, and then you get Bray Wyatt backing down and saying, you know what, kind of thing, like, let's go, and we're not going to fight him here. But it was a great heel tactic at the end, and for both teams, it was a great way to hype themselves up without actually having to get in and do a big brawl this week. So yeah, like I said, was a great segment right here, and it got the LA crowd went nuts for this. So after that, we get, I believe it's this Divas match. Yes, it is. So we get a Divas match, which is Oksana, Alicia Fox, and AJ Lee versus what's the girl's name? The Bella Twins and Cameron. Naomi caught a knee from Oksana on last week's Raw, and it caused her a big eye problem. Oksana drove the knee hard as shit into Naomi's eye, and I think they said she might end up having to get surgery on the eye because I think it fractured her socket or something like that. But it seems like from this match that they're pushing for Cameron to fight for the belt at the next at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. This match itself was okay, as far as the Divas match goes. A couple of things I liked was that you had Oksana, who kind of started using the knee as as more of an offensive weapon. Kind of my idea of that if you're going to hurt somebody with it, you might as well, try to make it a part of your repertoire and, kind of get over with it. Saying that, just get over as a heel with it. Saying that, yeah, I put people out of the game with this knee. And just try to figure out a way to do it without hurting people. But the match, like I said, the match itself was whatever. It was average for a Divas match. Cameron came in. She basically finished off the match. She did a new move. It's basically a snap DDT, and she calls it girl bye, I guess, or whatever, but did a snap DDT and ends up picking up the win with the move, and the Total Diva girls celebrating the ring, and the other girls walk away. So next we get Kane, who comes out, and Kane is basically apologizing for what happened with Daniel Bryan and stuff like that, and saying the Authority told him he should apologize, so he's doing it. After that, you get Daniel Bryan, who basically runs out there and starts to attack Kane. Basically beats the shit out of him. Kane goes for a choke slam. Daniel Bryan reverses it. Throws him, gets him to the outside of the ring, beats the shit out of him there, gets him over the barricade, and Kane runs away. And Daniel Bryan starts to do his chant and stuff like that and gets the crowd hype. This segment right here I thought was pretty okay. It just furthered on these whole story stuff with Kane and everything. The beatdown went fine and stuff like that, and it was just a good way to get the crowd hyped up and, just get everybody into this whole feud section with him and Kane, which I thought was okay for what it was. And next you get the main event match, John Cena versus Randy Orton. This match was boring. it was an average Cena Orton match. The only part of the match that I actually liked is when I don't have the picture, but when Randy Orton does the DDT off the ropes, he does it on the corner very top corner rope, does the DDT, and then he starts talking shit to the crowd, saying, I've never done that, you should like that and stuff like that, and just snapping at the crowd and everything. That was the only bit of emotion that either of them gave throughout the whole match. It was very by the numbers. Even to, it was kind of like a by the numbers pay-per-view match for them. They kicked out of each other's finishers and stuff like that, and it was just nothing to it for the most part. You get John Cena who does a leg drop off of the top rope, then hits his AA onto Randy Orton and picks up the win. Like I said, a pretty boring match that was basically average for them two. And it just brought nothing to me. These guys are the same characters. They do the same thing for the past however 9 or 11 years they've been here. They've been the same exact thing. And this match was just like, okay, yeah, we just seen this at the Royal Rumble. So it just didn't deliver anything for me. So that's the show. Cena wins. I thought the show was pretty chill. The Shield versus Wyatt stuff I really liked here. Their matches were pretty good. The Wyatt family match was pretty good, but their segments was really good. The Dean Ambrose match was pretty boring until it got towards the end. What else did I like here? The Sheamus and Christian match was very nice. I liked that match. It was a lot of fun to watch. The Usos did a good job in their match of keeping it, hyped up and stuff like that. I thought Ziggler's part of his match was really good. To me, this show is the story of some dudes in matches keeping the match up and the crowd keeping us into it. I was going to give this show another score, but after sitting here digesting and talking about it, I have to go with a C+. I was going to go B, but I don't think it deserves it. I think it was a little bit above average show, like a very hair above average. I think it did its job for the week, but there was several things that just didn't click at times, and the crowd kept this from being a boring show. If it wasn't another arena instead of LA, this would have been a pretty boring show because the crowd wouldn't have been into it. But the LA crowd was just hyped for no reason, basically. It's still like early in the daytime. It's not a nighttime show, so, the crowd is into it for the most part. Like I said, that's the score. I give it a C+, and you can catch me on all the links down there. Like, subscribe, comments, and peace.